This on. What a treat to have such talent on the stage here, and to have such talent at a music school and academy. It's an honor, not only on the music side, but the talent for athleticism, and what an honor here. So I'm going to do a quick introduction, but I think I can't do all of you justice, because you all have had exceptional careers. You have all contributed to making the world from gray to bright colors, and all of your pictures are up there, and we're just so thrilled to have you here. So I'm going to actually start with you, Meta, and then I'm going to ask you a couple of questions. Meta almost needs no introduction. Everyone has, see Meta, he has such incredible talent, not only in sports, but he has a vision for entrepreneurship. And if we could do quick introductions, and then I'll ask everyone a question, that would be great. So Meta, you start, please.
Meta World Peace. Currently living here, residing in Los Angeles. Started playing hoops, and now I'm transitioning. Well, I have transitioned from hoops over the last 7 years into entrepreneurship, social impact, and a lot of other things that we'll probably talk a little bit about later.
Thank you, thank you. So I have Charles Jenkins, and Charles, you're going to be speaking a little later, but I'd love for you to make a quick introduction as well.
Sure. Good afternoon, Charles Jenkins. I have a music and entertainment company and a budding fashion company.
And gospel?
Yes. I'm most known for gospel music. Last year I got my 18th number one on Billboard, almost 500 million streams and views worldwide. And I live in Los Angeles also, and I'm really excited to be here with so many rock stars.
Okay. Yeah. Okay.
My name is Jason White. I'm from Los Angeles, California, and I too am glad that I'm here among all of you rock stars on today. I am a gospel choir producer, vocal contractor for television and film. Done a few things here and there, but my passion is people. And I grew up here as well, here in Los Angeles, California, and I'm excited about life.
And Jason, producer for some big names and the Grammys, and you guys are modest here. So, I mean, I get people up here and they talk, so please, a little bit about that.
Well, I'm a vocal contractor for television. I started out with American Idol maybe about 15 years ago, American Idol, and that went into X Factor. Of course, started in church, but a vocal contractor it just blossomed. Of course, anything you see on television today, for the most part, is stacked, if I could say that. It's made bigger, whatever you see, whether it's touring, and usually I'm the guy that really kind of makes that happen. And it's been great. We did the Super Bowl this year with Rihanna, and the Oscars, of course, on last year and this year with Rihanna. And so God is good. Of course, to date it's been the Sunday services with Mr. Kanye West. I was the curator for that.
Amazing, amazing. Rance, so hey, so you have had an incredible career as well. Everybody up here has. And like to hear about a little bit about you. And you obviously have some very famous hits, so.
Why, thank you. How y'all doing? My name is Lawrence Dobson, born and raised Los Angeles, California. Started off as a musician, so I got a couple jobs. One of my jobs is I'm a musical director for artists. I just did the Beyonce tour. She's doing now. Alicia Keys. I work with Jay-Z on the band side. On the production and writing side, I have 4 Grammys, about 12 nominations. I also own, me and my partner, James Fauntleroy, we own a music academy. Well, it started off as a music academy, but now it's literally the school for the greatest minds in the world. It's called 1500 Sound Academy. It specializes in tech, fashion, film, music, sports. And it's literally a secret society for just people that know how to change lives and shift culture.
That's awesome. That's awesome. So You've all had incredible careers already, and you're on different visions and passions now. And I'd love to hear from each one of you about your passion when you first started. I mean, obviously, when everyone first starts, we're struggling, trying to figure out the path we're going on. And so the passion there, what drove you to this success? And we'll start with you, Rance.
What drove me was, I mean, just my life, honestly, just dealing with everything I had to go through in my life, and you know, success to me is like taking the stairs. You know, it's just a bunch of small steps, and I think I went through every single step of that. But it grows you, and it makes you way more smarter to where you want to teach other people. So you know, the whole goal is just for me is just to shift the motto of the education system and the music business, because it's just not cool, and we're doing it. Super excited.
And we'll talk about that in just a minute. So, Jason, let's hear about your passion when you first started. We're looking at when you first started.
Well, when I first started, I started playing piano at the age of 4. I lived with my grandparents, and we lived in Pasadena, California, and I just kind of started pecking on the piano. And of course, my grandmother was in the kitchen, and she can kind of sense, we all will have a witness in life, that person that will see something inside of us that is beyond. And so she was my witness, and she began to pray over me right there. And I've been playing piano ever since. And of course, growing up in church, I began to get involved with vocals and choir and people. And so that grew my passion for people, for others. How can I share what God has given me and be able to put it into others and teach them and help them in a way? And so it just blossomed and blossomed. And so then I became a music pastor, and then that fell off, and then I started just moving into television, and different ones would just call me to do certain things, and it was always connected to others. It was always the building of people, and so that is my passion, that God has given me to be able to impact someone else in the world for the benefit.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Yes.
So I just want to say for everybody, like, we know Meta is an NBA world champion.
Absolutely.
And these guys are the go-tos for the biggest stars in the world. Like, all of our favorite songs, like Bruno Mars, and I mean, they're up here, you know, in life, and just, I just want y'all to know that these are the guys times 10, and part of that is my passion, supporting other people and bringing people together, and bringing joy and life and uplift. And I think musically, I think at the core of my passion when I began, you know, I hated piano lessons. I never wanted to go. I hated it. I'll talk a little bit about it more later, but you know, I just hated the whole thing, and through my evolution, coming to where I am at this point, the stories really impassion me and empower me. When you're able to create something, or God gives you an idea and you're able to share it and to see what it does in the hearts or minds or lives of people broadly. Hearing people say to you that they played your music every day through every chemotherapy treatment. And when they rung the bell and came through, they were listening to your song. Or whatever season or moment in life, to be able to hear those stories, how can you not be empowered and inspired and motivated to try to be more, do more, and produce more? But at the core of it is what it does for other people.
That's awesome. Now, Meta, you're the only one on this group that, I mean, first of all, this is the best of the best right here. We're so honored you guys are all here and your stories. And Meta, I'd love to hear about your passion when you started. You obviously had a talent, basketball, and you were out playing all the time. And the passion of playing and changing your life and expanding your life. Can you talk a little bit about your passion when you started?
Yeah, absolutely. I think the passion comes from losing. When I was younger, I lost a couple games. I remember crying and then never wanting to experience that again. So it was not necessarily about being really good at basketball. It's just that one loss really kind of irked me when I was younger. So I wanted to be better and better and better. I always had different interests. So when I was in college, out of high school, I was majoring in architecture. So it was a little too difficult to major in architecture and then also play sports at 5:45 a.m. practice on the court, ready to go. So that was kind of tough. So I had to drop the major. Then I went to art. Same problems. I had to do all these projects. I got tired of sweating on these projects, so I dropped that major. and then I was going into math, but by that time I was already getting drafted into the NBA. So once I found out I was getting drafted, I just stopped going to school, quite frankly. And then 17, well, actually, when I first got into the NBA, I wanted to launch my own shoe company. So I went to one of my former agents, and I was like, hey, I want to launch my own shoe company. If one of my clients today said, hey, I want to launch a shoe company, I would say, okay, let's put together a plan, we'll raise some capital for it, like that, versus saying, no, it's impossible. When I heard that it was impossible, that kind of discouraged me, because I don't believe anything's impossible. I believe I can do anything I put my mind to, so that kind of discouraged me that I was able to be successful at that. So then I got into the music business a little bit, but the music business is all about relationships. It's not about how much money you have, right? So then I learned a little bit about the music business. When I retired, actually in 2012, I got into digital marketing. Sports, my love of math, right? Why digital marketing? Because as an athlete, you can sell products. You don't always need to receive sponsorship from companies. You can develop your own companies. Well, how are you going to scale that? How are you going to even develop that? How are you going to build it? Logistics is something that athletes are typically not focused on. We're always using third-party companies. Digital marketing, how are you going to set up campaigns? You're going to always have to pay somebody to set up your campaigns. Different things like that. So in 2017, when I retired, I went back to school, UCLA extension class. So I did coding, one class, digital marketing, one class, Google Analytics, another class. Then I did on Saturdays, I was in Concordia, Irvine for business analytics, because I wanted to figure out how to market companies and then sell them, right? So that's like a couple years ago. And so now it led me to, I'm retired now, and working with multiple companies, multiple founders. And I had a lot of ups and downs. I finally launched my family office. It took me 30 years, but finally got that off the ground. But it was just things like that where I wanted to be the one who people talk to, making a decision. So you don't have to speak to my manager. Everyone's speaking to me, right? And some people can't really get that concept that, I do my own contracts. I can read 161-page contracts. I've been doing this for the last 7 years, right? So now I'm able to put myself in a position to remove basketball, throw it in the trash, right, and move on, to a different challenge, which in our case, where we're from and different things like that, they say it's impossible to do this. You always need someone else to help you manage your finances. Why not train your family? Why not bring up your family and different things like that? Why not learn? The industries where we affect the outcome of success at the foundation level. So that's kind of where I'm at in my life right now, and all those experiences led me there.
That's awesome. So all of you here on the stage, you're all artists, and obviously Digital Evolution Institute is bringing in creativity into technology, into investment, into entrepreneurship, and you're all artists and athletes and entrepreneurs, really, in the end, and looking at it now. So the passion that drives you in the business and your focus now and what you really see ahead as you move forward, because we have family offices in the room, we have entrepreneurs in the room, we have investors, we have corporates in the room. So if you could talk a little about, you were talking about your academy, and what is your passion now, and how are you using entrepreneurship and the vision for your passion now in your life? And we'd love to hear about that.
Yeah, the school is really exciting. We've been open for about 4 years now. It's right next to the airport. It's a 35,000 square feet facility where you can imagine it's the X-Men school for the best creatives in the world. So we've had what makes the school amazing is 90% of the teachers are superstars, from people from family offices to Bruno Mars, Justin Timberlake. Gary Vee taught a class on NFTs. I had Sadhguru teach a class on sound and meditation. So it's just not your average school. It's really teaching you how to become a better person and to get you to your higher self. And the plan is now to expand. we partner with TPG Asia, so now we're building 12 schools in Asia. I leave in 2 weeks to open up our new school in Beijing and cut the ribbon there. So we got a school in Taiwan and Beijing right now, 1500 Sound Academy, but really trying to go everywhere in the world and really get everybody to their higher self with the information that we know, because we're the school where, you know, the teachers they have hits right now. They're actually doing stuff right now, and there is a group of people that actually care about people. So we just created our own, you know, community, and we're just giving back and doing a bunch of cool things.
Yeah, so it's teaching entrepreneurship as well. I mean,
Absolutely.
That's what's important, because it's you can have the passion, but you need a little structure sometimes. Entrepreneurs are optimist and focused. So Jason, tell me about, you know, your passion now and what your focus is now.
Well, my passion now, I've started this new movement called The Flip, and it's really kind of like a spinoff of Sunday Service, and where we go into different regions of the country. So let's say it's Atlanta, and I'm able to take to flip music means to, we would take possibly a secular or pop song and turn it into inspirational, like an inspirational song. And so we flip the lyrics. That's kind of what's the success of Sunday Service, that we would flip the music. And so the success of Sunday Service was just, you know, wow, we were traveling from countries and different things like that. Sunday Service was a Sunday expression where we went to, you were invited to come to a undisclosed location, basically, and we would have inspirational songs. There would be a choir there, there would be band members and celebrities from all over the world, including this one here, would come and be a part of it, and be a part of the service, and we would sing inspirational songs, and all of that week, we would be rewriting like up to 15 to 20 songs, and it just spread like wildfire. Some weeks we would be in the back of Mr. West's backyard or whatever it would be. And it was just an inspiration that people from all over the world would travel to come to Sunday service. And I would lead the choir, maybe about 150 to 200 kids. All week we would rehearse all week and just, you know, get built up, and then we would sing for the people that would come to service, and it was inspirational. It gave life. I would give a little word at the end of it, and so we did that for about a year and a half. Did that for a year and a half and touched lives, and we did albums and different things like that. But the flip after Sunday service, the flip is something that I'm doing the same thing with, but we're doing it as a residency in different parts of the country. And it's been beneficial. Of course, we're able to teach some of the singers how to songwrite, and sometimes those actual songs are being, broadcasted, those weeks. And it's just been a wonderful thing. It's moving into another level of entrepreneurship. It should start touring probably about September, October, and it just will be just a world blaze of different things. The other deal is that I've just started my foundation. It's called Jean's Boys. Jean was my mother, and she raised 2 boys. Single families, single homes for mothers. We would take a theater like this and have different families to come in, and we would sponsor them, and they would watch movies and different things like that. Great foundation of building homes as well. And so the flip and Jean's Boys together has been a wonderful thing.
Wonderful. Thank you for sharing that. I mean, everyone's going to probably be Google searching all this when we're down here. Matt, Charles, I'm going to have you wrap up. So Meta, you're talking about just a couple minutes just on entrepreneurship and your vision for the future. And I know you're working on a lot of entrepreneurship-related projects, including your own family office. And if you just take a minute here on your passion there, and then I'm going to let Charles wrap up.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you. So basically, we have Artest Management Group, Artest family last name. Changed my name from Artest to World Peace. But we are a management company focused on building architecture to hold up athlete opportunities. So that's our focus. What are athlete opportunities? It comes in abundance. There's so many of them, right? So sometimes we have to pass on opportunities because we don't really know how to hold them up and stand it up. So I've been focusing on building the architecture for that. You know, we have 25 project managers now, anybody from digital marketers to technologists, CTOs to data scientists to PR. We built it pretty interesting because it's really expensive to do what I do. So I had to create different contracts to keep this thing moving forward. So now we're able to, we have a sports agency, which I launched the agency to help agents launch their agencies on my platform. So we got 3 agencies launched on our platform right now. And now we're in talks with a couple other family offices that want to come join us too, out of the country, different things like that. And then I'm currently managing a lot of mostly developers now. I'm managing a lot of developers personally. My son's one of my CTOs. He also went to USC and UCI for gaming and stuff like that. So that's kind of what we're doing these days.
That's
and-
awesome.
sorry.
That's awesome. So, Charles, you want to wrap up? Because right after you wrap up, we have a surprise for everyone. So,
Amazing. So I will say in my brief wrap up, we're all going to come talk to Meta, of course. You definitely, if you're in LA, you want to go to 1500 Academy, you gotta see it.
It's incredible.
You gotta see it.
Unbelievable.
And the beautiful thing about what Rance is doing is they're not just changing the lives of young men and women internationally, but they are creating very successful, high-earning individuals that are contributing citizens in a substantial way. Yeah. Jason, with what he's doing with the Flip, as with Kanye West, they created this viral inspirational movement, taking that around the country and creating tons of jobs and monetizing. And I'll say, lastly, with me, my focus at this particular moment is a luxury lifestyle brand called Positive Air. I'll talk a little bit more about it later, but as a offshoot of the music, we were selling merchandise as we were touring. People were buying it in mass. I had a conversation with a dear friend who leads one of the largest fashion brands in the world. And I asked him, do you think this brand, Positive Air, can live in the world? Or do you think it's merch? I could have a great life just selling it out of my trunk. And he said, no, the world needs this brand. We don't need another fashion brand, but we do need another brand with all of the negativity and volatility and just all of the ill and evil in the world. We need some positive air. And so we're in the midst of building this brand, and I'm excited to be working with some amazing people because we believe teamwork makes the dream work. And our focus is not just bringing this brand to the world, but bringing this movement to the world, a new style of life that will lead you to think good, feel good, look good, do good, and be good.
thank you so much, everyone.